Crazed madman announced that they're getting ready to declare a public health emergency due to the monkeypox. HHS secretary says concern level is 10 out of 10. Ooh.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how concerned are you about the spread of monkeypox in the U.S.? Are you more concerned than a year ago?
Well,
a month ago, not a year ago, a month ago.
A day ago. We should absolutely be concerned, 100% concerned, because we've not had monkeypox the way we've seen it now, and we don't want it to become a part of life the way we're seeing. And so we have to stay ahead of it, and that's what we've been trying to do since day one. We have now increased the number of vaccines that we have available. As you mentioned, we've got about some 3,000 cases that have been reported. We suspect there's several, much more than that, but we've got about 300,000 plus vaccines that we've now made available throughout the country.
Well, two points you just made. Well, first of all, on a scale of 1 to 10, how concerned are you today?
Concerned? Look, always concerned with something that's coming that we have not had to deal with before, so 10. But 10. Yeah, because we want to get ahead of it. You don't want it to become a part of life.
Like I was saying, it's really weird. Like, none of it makes any sense. Monkeypox itself has apparently been a thing for decades and never really a problem. I heard like in the Dominican Republic, every year a few hundred people get it or something. Now what it is, who knows? It's probably not a virus. Viruses don't seem to exist from anything I can tell, but some sort of something anyway. But they've tied it in somehow that it's just gay people who have orgies get it, which is how they started the whole AIDS thing.
Go look at the New England Journal's report that NBC News reported on Friday, in which of the 528 cases they reviewed, 95% were sex between men. I think we actually have to have a serious conversation about where this is coming from. When I'm done, Brad, you can talk. Instead of going crazy and declaring a national pandemic when 3,000 people have it right now, it's insane.
Like, Fauci, are you seriously doing it again? Like, that was his first big thing, was the HIV AIDS thing, and saying it was caused by sex, through sexual contact, initially with gay people, and it wasn't. And then they'd test all the gay people. It's amazing. A lot of people, like that San Francisco choir or whatever, they love Fauci.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Hi, Dr. Fauci.
It's amazing. Like, they're always trying to kill them. And, yeah, Fauci started with the AIDS thing. And then the thing that killed most people was the AIDS medication. What a surprise. Yeah, the man who gave us AIDS. Here's some news clippings. Smallpox vaccine triggered AIDS virus. Oh, it was the vaccine who caused everyone to die there again. What a surprise. AIDS epidemic triggered by smallpox vaccine. Smallpox vaccine triggered AIDS virus. And now some COVID vaccines could increase risk of HIV, researchers warn. Yeah, they just do it all over and over again. It's amazing. And people don't ever catch on. Well, most people. Of course, some people definitely catch on. And maybe that's kind of the point. Maybe the people who are able to like think, avoid getting poisoned, and that's how they get the population down, which if they do, it's going to be a little awkward, I have to say. If they get it down to 500 million, and that's not that many people. So I'll probably like come across Kill Gates or Satan Claus at some point, and it'll just be awkward because I'll be like, no, I think it's really great what you guys did, but all this communism stuff, I don't really like it. And we'll see what happens at that point, but that's still probably a few years away before that happens. So, but it's going to be awkward because, like I said, there's not going to be that many people, so I'll probably run across them at some point, if they exist. I really, unless I see it with my own eyes, and even then I barely believe most things. I get a little jaded at this point, but we do live in a complete everything's a lie world. So, of course, what city is going to be the first city on Earth to announce a crisis with the monkeypox? Can anyone guess? San Fran shithole. San Fran shithole declares state of emergency over monkeypox. And I don't even know what they're saying about the monkeypox because I don't watch mainstream media. But it seems like they're trying to say it's like as deadly or more deadly than the COVIDs, which doesn't even exist either. But if that's the case, remember how they locked everyone down for the COVIDs? Like, this guy makes a pretty good comment on it. The occupying regime banned funerals, but won't tell people to stop attending orgies to slow the spread of monkeypox. Yeah, so given everything they did with the COVIDs, and if they say the monkeypox is transmitted in gay orgies, you would think it would just make sense for them to lock down the gays. And this is a friend of mine, a friend I've known for a long time, Justin O'Connell of Gold, Silver, Bitcoin. And he's been going to a lot of town hall type meetings or city council meetings and just messing around with them. A lot like that other guy. I forget his name from Texas, but it's great. And so he actually did it. He went to his meeting and it's funny, like he's just like us. He knows what's going on. So don't get confused. Like it's 100%. He's made this all up to sound like it's legitimate when it's not. But he's basically saying it's time to lock down the gays.
I wanted to thank city leaders for the declaration of a local emergency due to the AIDS epidemic that they're doing today. And I did want to tie it to the OPD funding. I do disagree with most of the callers who want to defund the police. Instead, I want to fund the police. Here's why. In the Bay Area and the US, the HIV and AIDS epidemic continues to be an invisible enemy, particularly in urban areas among young African men. So let's take a public health approach. We can apply the 2020 COVID approach to the current local AIDS emergency that is currently ongoing and for which we've continued the emergency declaration today. Early in 2020, we locked down and kept people home. We defeated that invisible enemy then. This was visionary on the part of public health leaders. We can learn from this approach today. In 2020, we locked down the high at risk and went after super spreaders. We face a lot of the same problems today when looking at the ongoing AIDS epidemic. Council might consider the following action, and perhaps staff could get right on this as well. Now, there isn't the political will at this point to lock down everyone, so we have to be pinpoint in our approach. This could be a first nationally. My recommendation is simple, that we just follow the science. It pains me to recommend this too, but to put an end to the Oakland AIDS crisis, we simply must lock down the gays. If we really wanted to follow the science, particularly, we would lock down the gay men. Thank you for your consideration of this action, locking down the gay men with a robustly funded OPD and in light of the current AIDS health emergency. And thank you all for your service.
But I've said since day one, no government should ever lock down anyone. No government should exist. I know it's a crazy idea that criminal organizations should not be legitimate and exist. But they do. I do realize that. I'm not insane. Well, not according to all the news articles, but but just for the record, I don't think the government should lock down gays over the fake monkeypox. But I do think it's fucking hilarious that people are suggesting this. It's actually becoming a thing. Like, this is going to get really interesting. We need a 2-week cockdown to slow monkeypox. Yeah, they've tied it into gay sex. Oh, there's that big dog. She looks nice, but let's go this way. Looks like she protects that part of the neighborhood. Yeah, that's her turf. We're a little bit further down here. But yeah, we respect other people's turf. We're anarcho-capitalists, voluntarists. If it's your property, your turf, you protect it. Let's go, Lucy. Lucy. That's my girl. So, this is getting really interesting. They're saying it's like somehow tied to gay sex. So if we're looking at differences between the COVIDs and the monkeypox, both of which don't really seem to exist, they do say the monkeypox, some of the symptoms are you get like a rash in your anus after you've had tons of gay sex. And remember too, the Pride Month just ended. So I've unfortunately seen some tweets from some LGBTQ type people talking about what they got up to that month, and it's literally insane. I talked about it in my last video. Consuming metric tons of human bodily fluids. And so I think what happens is, they go and have sex with like 50 guys in the butt, and then they get a rash in their anus. They go to the doctor, and the doctor goes, that's the monkeypox, and then probably gives them some medication that kills them, which is hilarious. But the thing with the COVIDs is, like, it became like the social virtue signaling thing to, well, at first it didn't. Remember when it was like, if someone said that they had the COVIDs, like some athlete, everyone would hate them. It's like, why didn't you stay inside? You probably went outside once. But then after a while, everyone had the COVIDs, and according to the test, which doesn't mean anything. And all of a sudden it became like virtue signaling to show you've got the COVIDs. So people would be like, I got the COVIDs, and they'd show their test. Well, if they keep up this narrative with the monkeypox, I don't think we're going to see that many people showing their positive monkeypox tests. The thing is, they're not going to say they tested positive for monkeypox because of the implication. Yeah, none of this makes any sense. And this isn't really going to work because no one's going to say they've got it. But, you know, I think they didn't think it could even last this long. I thought, like I don't even think they thought a lot of people wear masks, but lots of people started to do it, so they just kept going, yeah, keep wearing them. So they're just having fun at this point. They're just making up stuff like, what should we do the next one? Monkeypox. And we'll say it's gay sex transmitted. And lucky, Ben, lucky no. Lucy, you're the best one. Yeah, I don't bother anybody. You bother me though, you better get your ankle gauge on.
Broke ankles!
So you might be really worried, wondering if you got the monkeypox, right? This is the time that we live in where you feel totally fine, but you got to go to a doctor and big pharma and get one of their tests to see if you got something. Well, someone's made it easier here. Your risk of getting monkeypox. Chads and Mormon girls, 0 risk. I don't know who that number 5 guy is, or 6 or 7. But, there's that, the U.S. Health Secretary, Rachel Levine's 9. And then the guy with red lipstick and red shoes who's in charge of nuclear disposal in the U.S., you got a 10 if you're at that level. Yeah, that Rachel Levine. Have you ever looked at her? Rachel Levine is actually Mitch McConnell. Yeah, I wonder how many people will be going to the airport with their COVID's surgeon mask on and their surgeon mask over their butt for their monkeypox. Kill. You're amazing. Just amazing. What an incredible scam you got going on. Yeah, it's Bill Kill You. Who, me? He's created these like supranational or international governing bodies that he's paid off or gotten. Satan Claus has got all his guys into the governments. And so they basically own things like the World Health Organization. It's amazing the commies, oh man, I wish commies had a brains or could think. Because this is like the biggest capitalist scam in history, and they're all cheering it on. But Bill Gates basically owns the World Health Organization. There's only one contributor bigger than him, and it's Germany of all places. Of course, Angela Merkel, a young global leader. Then you got the Kill Melinda Gates Foundation, doing their charity. Then the US, then Great Britain, EU, then Gavi, which is also Bill Gates, and Satan Claus owns most of these countries. That's amazing. And the World Economic Forum, with the 666 right in the logo, has just put out their latest video. Just letting everyone know what they're doing. And you might recall that Canada somewhat slightly took away some of their insane COVID regulations, and just like in the last month or so. And I saw a few people saying, you see, Jeff, sure, they locked everyone down for 2 years. They steal most of their money through extortion. You can't do anything without their permission. But it's not that bad, Jeff. And you might remember I was like, I'm sure this won't last long. And it hasn't. For no discernible reason, Canada is reinstating random COVID testing at its 4 main airports. Of course, things like Google, which is now called Alphabet, which is so perfect, it's an alphabet agency, it's the CIA. And Meta, also CIA. All work with the globalists, Satan Klaus and all that. And we've seen over the last few years how insane the censorship's been. Like, that's the main reason I got kicked off of YouTube, is just for even talking about the COVIDs. Like, and the way I talk about it, I didn't last very long at all. But it's still like super insane. You can barely say anything. You still see like mainstream YouTube people like censoring out the word vaccine. Like, you're not allowed to talk about it on those networks. And now they're doing the exact same thing for the monkeypox. So you can't say anything that's not said exactly by Bill Gates' World Health Organization, or you'll be removed from basically most of the internet.
The stigma and discrimination can be as dangerous as any virus and can fuel the outbreak. As we have seen with COVID-19, misinformation and disinformation can spread rapidly online. So we call on all social media platforms, tech companies, and news organizations to work with us to prevent and counter harmful information.
And in other news, Ghislaine Maxwell, who was basically the pimp for Bill Gates and almost every major celebrity in Hollywood and tons of politicians for basically child sex trafficking, it turns out has gotten sentenced, but to a minimum security prison. Like, that's what I've been saying all along. Like, they are the ones doing it. Even if they put one person into a cage, it's going to be as easy as possible for that person. Now that I have your attention, while Ghislaine Maxwell was being transferred to the new low-security prison where she can do Pilates and yoga, Julian Assange was on a suicide watch and thrown in solitary confinement.